And we're on. It's to have you on our Quebec radio show. My friend, I'm going to do it. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. This is Esa Holopainen from my own Silverlight project and from Amorphis.
Esa, it's such an honor. I repeat myself. I follow your career since the beginning with Amorphis. But now we're going to talk about that new project. But maybe for people in Quebec that don't know that project, how the idea came out and how did you build that new band?
Yeah, I started this project, Silver Lake, around a year ago. Um, like every other musician on this business, we all lost our shows and touring plans due to the COVID situation. So, a friend of mine who is running a studio here quite nearby where I live, he gave me a call and he asked, if I would be interested to start to work with my own solo album, as he remembered that I've been speaking about that idea for already like a couple of years ago, mainly in the bar after a couple of beers. That would be nice to work together, do something, and blah blah blah. So he remembered that, and he gave me a call and asked, "What do you think?" And yeah, that was basically the starting kick for me to start this project. And I checked my computer hardware, got a couple song ideas that I played for him, and asked, "What do you think? Is it shite or not?" And he thought that it's super good songs, solid songs, but you definitely need singers or singer those songs, and that's how it got started. I started to figure out what kind of singer or singers I would probably need, or the songs need, and got contact with Jonas, Björn, and Einar, and all the guys were super interested of working with these songs, and I was really happy with that. And that's in a short way what happened and how this Silver Lake project got started.
It's always around the beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in the case, it's a good thing because it's I listened to it and I had such a blast. It's really an experience. Um, is it tough, with the experience and what you've been through your career to create a solo record now? Or is it something that it's still difficult after all those years?
Oh yeah. I think this was this was a project that really like surprised myself as well. I didn't have that clear picture what kind of an album I'm going to do, and during the process when I got more singers along, I started to realize in which direction this whole thing is going. And the greatest thing was that I wasn't in any hurry. I didn't have any deadline. It took around half a year or so to come up with all the songs and arrangements, and almost with the recordings as well. So um, I took it little by little, and the greatest thing was, of course, get inspired from these vocalists and sort of writing music for them, and writing in really different sort of music what I would do, for example, for Amorphis session.
Yeah, because that's the thing. You when you working with Amorphis, you know the direction. But with that project, you can go to any direction you want since people don't have any expectation. It must be really fun to create something that you're on. You are your own boundaries.
Absolutely,
You can do whatever you want.
absolutely, and uh, I was the only person who I was responsible was myself, in what I'm doing and what kind of music I was doing. And at first point, I was planning to release the album by myself if no record label would be interested. But yeah, luckily, Nuclear Blast Nuclear Blast got interested and they took this. So then that was like a little pressure, not that much pressure, but little thing that bucket in back of my head that like they are really like pushing now for the release. So I can't really do any nonsense here and but yeah, totally. Um, it's different, and the feedback what I've got from people, it's been really encouraging and great. So I'm happy.
And I think that, with the pandemic and everything, there's way more people aware of what's happening in the scene. They got more time to listen to music. Some work from their home now. They can listen to what they want. You're not in an office anymore. So I think a lot of people start to listening more music and discover new artists. And there's something I felt. I don't know if you saw that with that project.
Um, I realize that yes, that's true, and it's the people who listen to music, the fans as well as the musicians. We all need music, and that was one of the greatest thing to see during the pandemic. How much musicians still they can't tour, but they turn like versus wise. They want to be creative, and they start to create different projects, all kind of things like YouTube channels with random lockdown lineups, playing covers, everything. Like people get super creative, and I think times when people can't go to any shows or enjoy live music, it's really important that they get the music from other way and they see these artists in the other way. So I guess we've learned pretty much, about our cultural and musical needs during these times.
Yeah, you're right. It's a really good point. I think people realize now the importance of culture more than before that, because we were taking everything for granted, because seeing shows and everything. So people gonna go crazy when everything is done, and I hope people will less complain about the performance or the choice of songs and just enjoy their moment and not being on their phone or anything like that. Just live the moment.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be great for everyone, and but I promise to myself that I'm never ever going to complain about traveling or spending time at airports or somewhere 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to I'm going to enjoy every bit of that as well.
Yeah, it's maybe my fault. I remember before the pandemic, I was seeing like 5 or 6 show a week and make review and everything, and I was tired. And I said, "Damn, I need a break." But I didn't figure out it was 2 year break. God damn it!
Yeah, nobody saw that coming, and it didn't. It almost happened like during one night, but it didn't. Everything it started so slowly. Everybody were waiting that okay, it will take uh, 1 month, 2 months, and this whole thing will be all right, and it's just regular flu and blah blah blah. But then after 1 year, there you go.
Yeah, I
Different
think
times.
it's like the last run. I think it's always the worst. It's always the same. When you work hard, it's always like when you're in studio, the end of doing the records, that's more problem, more stress, and you just want to release it and it's
Mm.
done. But I think we're at that moment where it's really to like running. The last 10 minutes
Mm.
before the end of the course is it's the most rough. So I think that it maybe at the beginning of next year's things gonna be more positive, and people gonna be born again, so it's gonna be interesting. Is there any project when everything is done to tour with that album?
With Silver Lake, I don't know. I already got contacted by a couple promoters. They asked if I would be interested of doing some selected shows with Silver Lake. Um, Absolutely, if you ask for me, that would be great. But logistically, it would be a pretty nightmare to try to organize all the vocalists in the same place. On some festivals, it might be doable, but it's definitely something that I would love to do at some point. Uh, Another point, of course, is that when we get back to the normal life and all the touring life starts, I think all the artists who are on this album, they are going to be super busy with their own bands and projects, and people are just going to run for the for the tours. So, but yeah, some point it would be absolutely would be great to do. At least it's a little dream for me to try to do that.
It would be great. And as you mentioned, there's a lot of festival that are interesting. So it's maybe more right formula for to begin with, since maybe those bands gonna be on the bill too. You can build something around that. That would be great.
Yes. That's probably the most realistic way to do these shows. Um, our manager, who is also manages Amorphis, he's a festival promoter himself, and he runs a big metal festival here in Helsinki. Um, and he was very optimistic about the idea that we should do a couple shows on some selected festivals with getting the bands that these vocalists are on the same bill, so that could be doable that way.
We hope to see that, because when I listened to the records, I felt that those songs live would it's another level.
Yes, it would be. I would really love to work with you know with the live version as well. Perhaps getting it a little bit more cinematic with some strings and proper flutes and so on. So absolutely, that's I have a I have a little orchestra inside my head how I would like this to happen.
The vision is there, but
Absolutely.
the artwork of the album is amazing. Who did the artwork?
Uh, it's done by a French artist called Val Noir. He's the man behind a couple last Amorphis album covers. He's a French visual artist. Um, Really cool guy. Really amazing artwork. He usually works with a lot of with the underground bands and with black metal bands, and he does totally evil art, but he's got his other side of him, another side of the coin, and he's got a great eye for great visuals. So we have loved to work with him with Amorphis, and I'm usually in contact with him. So for me it was really natural to give the planning the visual art for Silverlight to him.
Yeah, and since you with Amorphis, the direction you want to go, and he know the song, so he can build something around that feel fit with the imagery that you have in your mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like the old school guy in that way that for me this like a holy trinity is the music and the lyrics and the visual art. And I think when you done well with all these three things, you're on the right track.
It's true. How's it with Amorphis right now? Do you guys work on something, or you were really just involved in that project, start to finish?
Yeah, we're working with the next Amorphis album at the moment, and I pretty much jumped immediately after the Silver Lake session into Amorphis session. So we started already the album recordings. We've recorded all the drums, bass, and rhythm guitars so far. And next step is the lead guitars, keyboards, vocals, additional instruments. So yeah, we're on the halfway. The album should come out early 22, if I remember right. I think it's February. 22. So yeah. So then, if everything is okay, we start to tour with Amorphis next spring.
Wow. You didn't like the pandemic, it didn't like stop you of creating and be active.
No, no, no. I'm really happy that I get a chance to be this creative and active during these times. Um, yeah, so I was just thinking about I would definitely love to do another Silverlight album, but I would need another pandemic to do that.
Yeah, because with touring, it's really tough, and that's the thing. There's a lot of release and new projects coming out because people had times to do that, and many artists have told me, if it wasn't for the pandemic, we would be on tour, so I would not have the time to do that. But that project was in my head, so I have the time to do it, and it's kind of positive in a way. If we see the positive side of everything, we have brand new music, new project, which is really original, and it's gonna bring the scene to another level when everything's gonna start again. New generation of band, new name. It's gonna be interesting to see because I think that at the end with the festival thing, it was always, everybody was trying to get the biggest name. And, we didn't build a new generation of band and metal, but right now it's happening and it's going to be interesting to see. In Canada, the scene is really active right now.
Yeah, it's the same thing here. I think it's if we don't count all these health issues, I think I see a lot of positive things. What has happened during the pandemic, like as you say, that's exactly what happened to me as well. The I wouldn't do this project without the pandemic, without this time off. There's going to be a lot of new releases, I'm sure, within this year, next year, that's been recorded during the pandemic times. So yeah, in that point, I think there's good things, and people definitely will enjoy more the tour life and going to shows when we are allowed to again.
Yeah, and I think there's gonna be new faces. A lot of people that were not seeing a lot of shows that gonna be curious or just want to go out and have fun.
Absolutely. That's for sure. I already know now that there is a lot of people during the pandemic times that have founded Amorphis and this my new project that necessarily wouldn't listen to our kind of music at all before.
It must be fun, like to have people writing you. I just discovered Amorphis since you guys are here since many years and you're a well-established band. But it must be like, yeah, there's still new guys out there, enjoying our music.
Absolutely, yeah. We've been around about 30 years, and now you discovered us. that's
I remember
that's
I bought like the Thousand Tales
yeah.
album back in the days on cassette. I still have it on cassette.
Oh
Not
yeah,
that I bought the rest of the record on CDs, but that one I bought it on cassette.
yeah.
On-
That was a long time ago, early 90s, 1994 or something like this. Yeah,
yeah,
good
and I think
times.
that the record just before the wave of black metal, where Cradle of Field, Dimmu Borgir went massive, Children of Bottom, and there was a huge buzz around the scene at that time.
It was really funny to like realize and experience. I strongly remember the times like in very early 90s when there was no black metal scene at all, and it was just it just popped up in 94 95 during that times from the bands you just mentioned, and before that everything was just death metal, thrash metal, and suddenly you saw these penguins with makeups, and there was a black metal wave going on.
It was true, and it's fun because Quebec, really embraced that wave, but it stick to it. So we're still, a metal city, and the whole Canada. Did you came to Quebec City with Amorphis? I don't remember.
Yes, we played in Quebec. I think the last tour we did in North America and Canada. I was fall 2019.
I
Yes,
think was it at the Imperial?
it was. Yes,
Cool. It's such a great place.
yes,
So, we really hope to see you around Canada and Quebec when everything's gonna be back to normal. Yeah, with Amorphis, but with that new projects and it's something that I'm sure you're proud of because it's such an excellent record. And I repeat myself, it's really an experience. People don't just go listen to a songs. You have to listen to the whole thing to get the whole ID. And it's I had the great times. I will listen to it more and more and yeah, thank you.
thank you, man. It was really nice interview. Nice talking to you.
Thank you, Essa. I really hope to see you in person. Make sure if it happens, let's say bye bye and drink a beer. We have great microbrewery
Absolutely.
beer, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. We have to try that one.
If you like microbrewery beer, I know a lot of people are not into that.
I'm into any beer.
Here's the beer. So, Essa, thank you so much. Before we leave, can you do us a really simple ID, just saying, "Hi, this is Essa from Amorphis, and you're listening to Prescription Punk Rock."
Yes, I can. Hold on, I check here.
And don't worry if you can do it again if there's something. Just I'm gonna keep rolling and I'm gonna edit it.
Okay, hold on. I because I have the radio name here, so I can check it. Prescription punk rock. That was
Yes.
it. Okay, here we go. Hey guys, this is Esa Holopainen from Amorphis and from my Silverlight project. You're listening Prescription Punk Rock. Stay tuned, dude.
Hell yeah. Essa, thank you for your generosity and time. I really appreciate it. Congratulations again with the new records. And we invite people to go grab it physically, buy merch, everything you can. We want them on the road. And thank you.
Thank you very much. Nice talking to you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye
Cheers.
bye.